Hello everyone, my name is Orlando, and today we're going to be talking about some things that you should never ever spend your money on. So, I have like this laundry list of things that I always tell people no matter what, you try to avoid spending your money on these. Now, we're just going to go over 5 of them, which the 5 that I think are the most important and also the most common. So let's go ahead and just start off with one that I have always, I've done 2 videos on this already, and it is credit card interest. Credit card interest is, if you watch the video that I did, it basically said credit cards are the devil, right? But that title can be somewhat misleading, but it's really the interest that's really the issue. I have said it over and over and over and over again, guys, is that when it comes to credit card interest, you want to avoid this at all costs. You want to make sure that when you buy something that you can afford it, first of all, that it won't carry over into the next month, meaning that when you get your invoice that you can pay off the entire balance at the end of the month. And so a lot of times individuals buy things and let it carry over, which then allows the credit card company to give you that interest or add that interest to the purchase. And that's what we want to stay away from. I don't have an issue if you use your credit card and then pay it off. I don't have an issue with that at all. I have an issue if you let the balance carry over to the next month and you accrue that horrible 17, 18, 19, 26% interest rate that the credit card company is going to give you. Please avoid that. You are literally flushing money down the drain. So number 2 that you should not ever spend money on is lottery tickets. Lottery tickets are by far one of the worst ways of spending your money. First of all, we all know, I don't have to go through probability and statistics and all that other stuff. Everyone knows that it's some ridiculous hundreds of millions probability of you actually winning the lottery, but it still doesn't stop people from actually playing the lottery because everyone thinks, hey, Joe in Texas won, so why can't I win, right? There's a chance that you can win $1 billion or hundreds of $1,000,000. So you think to yourself, what's it gonna hurt me, right? And I understand that in some occasions, especially when it comes to that mega millions or the Powerball where it's in the billions of dollars, people may, say have some fun with it and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and play the lottery, right? And it is what it is. You can do what you want. But the more people that play, the less chance you have of winning, especially individuals who continually play the lottery every Tuesday, every Saturday, or just continue. Your money can be spent better elsewhere. You can take that and invest it in stock. You can take it and invest it into a savings account, in the CD. Do anything. Please do anything other than play the lottery. It is literally burning your money. Burning your money. Like I said, the statistics, the probability portion of it, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice and all this other stuff. I can name so many ways of saying like, hey, if this, your chances are better this, but everyone knows this, right? I don't have to explain it to you. The numbers aren't in your favor. So just take the money and then put it somewhere else where you will win, and you won't win with the lottery. Your chances are so small, so small. Let's put our money somewhere where it's a little bit more guaranteed that you're going to make your money. I would rather you put your money in a savings account. And you know me, I don't really like putting money in savings accounts, but that's how bad it is versus the lottery. You keep your money in a checking account. You guys know what I feel about that. You're making no money on a checking account. That's because at least you're saving your money. Number 3. Bank fees. Man, I tell you what, especially in my younger years, I used to get ate up by the bank fees, overdraft fees, just making the most smallest mistakes. Mostly because I didn't have the money, right? You don't have the money, and then you kind of use the bank to do overdrafts and stuff like that. I remember those days, and I don't know how much money I gave to the bank. I probably gave the bank probably $2,000 a year easily in overdraft fees and bank fees and things of that nature. I think the average for bank fees is like $300 a year, the average American makes. And as I got older, I used to get so annoyed with the amount of the percentage wise. So when you take a look at it and you think to yourself, you think, okay, I spent $100 and I get an overdraft fee of about $30. That's a 30% fee. 30%. What about those times that you would go to McDonald's and you didn't have the money in your account and you bought a $7 meal or a $5 meal and you got hit with a $30 fee? What is that? Like 5 times more? That's 500% fee? The percentages would just eat me alive as far as when I thought about them and how much money I was wasting. When you look at it from a numbers perspective, when I say I'm gonna take $500 and then the bank is gonna charge me an overdraft fee of $30, most people think, oh, that's not really that bad. I'll take that, especially if I didn't have the money. But what I want to say to you though is that you will be saving yourself so much more money if you just budgeted and made sure you had the money and didn't overspend. I can almost promise you in those scenarios, you're trying to purchase something or you're trying to buy something that you don't actually need. It's just you're trying to do things for fun. So if you can avoid a bank fee of $30 overdraft or any bank fees in general, please avoid them. Number 4, which are late fees. Late fees can happen in a bunch of ways. It can be late fees on your credit card. It can be late fees on your mortgage, late fees on your cable bill. Late fees can really take a snowball effect, especially if you have multiple late fees. Next thing you know, you got a $200, $300 in late fees. And especially on the big ticket items like your mortgage and whatnot, that can have by itself a $150 late fee depending on who your mortgage holder is. So you really want to avoid these things. Sometimes late fees can happen when you forget about it. You may have the money in there, but you just forget about it. Most of the time they happen because people just don't budget right and they're trying to go month to month, trying to pay this person, not paying this person and whatnot. And when that is happening, where you're trying to finagle and trying to figure out who you're going to pay this month and who you're not going to pay this month, and you know you're going to have this late fee, I want you to really take a look at your budget and take away some things that you know, especially in this pandemic time where you have to live below your means. And some things that I suggest is like maybe taking away cable, maybe not going out to eat as much. There's a bunch of ways that you can drop your budget down, especially if you're living above your means. So maybe you take a look at your budget and you go, these are the reasons why I have all these late fees. I've seen some people pay as much as $200 to $300 a month in late fees, which is high, but they do that so they can keep their lifestyle that they're currently at, even though they can't afford that lifestyle. So what you want to do, like I said, is avoid late fees altogether. You want to really take a look at your whole budget and then take out what you can afford, what you can't afford, and then go from there. But avoid late fees. You're just burning money, just burning it. Number 5, I kept this as the last one on purpose because it is one of those things, almost one of the number ones, if not number one, are grouped in with the number one, is payday loans. Payday loans will destroy someone financially. And what's the reason behind that? Payday loans have this ridiculous cycle of allowing you to re-up using a payday loan to pay off a payday loan. The interest rates are ridiculous and very loan sharkish. There has been so much legislation of trying to control payday loans based on the interest rate, how they can be advertise where they can be at in your city. There's just so many things of trying to make sure that this type of lending, which I would consider it predatory, is contained and not used as much. And there's a reason why there's a debate and why they are trying to keep payday loans in a certain niche and they can't charge a certain interest rate. It's because they are predatory. You can get caught up in a payday loan and never get out of it. I mean, we have seen stories of individuals taking a $1,000 payday loan out, and next thing you know, they're paying $20,000 at the end of the year because they've rolled over the payday loans over and over and over, paying interest over and over, but still rolling over the principal. And the interest rates in some cities could be as high as 30, 40, and 50%. Can you imagine paying 30, 40, 50% on a payday loan? When you do the rolling into it, it turns into a 100% loan. That's 100%? That is ridiculous. Now, it's great accounting and math work that's done to make sure that it doesn't look that way. But if I was to say to you, hey, you borrowed $1,000, but at the end of it, you paid $20,000, I don't think that you would be telling me that you paid 3% on $1,000. You would say to yourself that I paid 20 times more than $1,000. So that's the problem with payday loans. They are extremely deceptive, and you have to be very, very careful. And when I say very, very careful, I mean don't take them. I don't mean take it and be cautious. I mean don't do it. So do not touch payday loans. There are so many other avenues that you could possibly go. And if you have to go that way of a payday loan, I really want you to assess your budget, what your financial situation is that is making you have to take this horrible, horrible loan and possibly put yourself in financial ruin by taking these loans. So once again, guys, if you got value out of this content, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button and that notification button so that when I release content like this, that you will be notified. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.